From street racers all the way to a group of members able to take on the most dangerous missions to pull off, heck, they even went to space in the last installment. The two-part finale is a huge deal for the franchise, and there might be a lot of things we're looking over just because, as there's a lot more going on than you might think the first time around. The Fast and Furious saga is not stopping, or at least not until they release the two-part finale already confirmed, with the first part of it releasing as soon as May the 19th, 2023. The date scheduled for the movie's theatrical run at the moment, which might be a subject of change if we look throughout the history of the movie, with it being prolonged for more than 2 years since the first date given to the world. The conclusion will be an epic one, a story to remember for a long time after it's finished. There's no doubt about it, especially since all or almost all of the main core members of the family are going to be present, with many new faces joining in for the final endeavors of the street racing gang that turned into a one-of-a-kind team that will take some of the hardest missions to pull off. The 9th installment saw 2 of the members, Tej and Roman, going into space, so yeah, not even the sky's the limit for these guys. One of the big game characters that we'll not see though is Dwayne Johnson, who openly confirmed that he'll not be returning for the role of Hobbs after his feud with Vin Diesel, which can also turn out to be a better option for the franchise as a whole, but more on that later. Not much is known about the movie itself or the story that'll take place, however, a teaser or two here and there that might show us some inside details about the franchise's past, present, and future, the untold truth behind all of it, and what could the two-part finale mean for the entire franchise moving forward.
Let's go for a little ride.
While the franchise started out as a pretty simple action flick involving fast cars and street races, when we look at it today, we can see that it outgrew its roots, becoming a full-on action and adventure powerhouse, especially at the box office. Plot details are scarce at the moment, however, we're more than certain that there will be a lot to be told in the two-part finale, with Justin Lin at the helm of things for both movies. And while the fans are keen on seeing where the next adventure of the Fast family will take us, the world is more invested in what kind of ridiculous set piece we're gonna see next. Tyrese Gibson, who plays Roman Pierce in the franchise, teased the fans about the story by reading from the script, who said that when he first saw it that he was stoked, and flabbergasted, his exact words, not ours, which puts a lot of pressure on the franchise's shoulders to outdo what the 9th installment did in terms of stunts and action scenes. The escalation has been a factor for quite a while now, with the latest mission sending members of the family to space. How can you outdo that? It would be an understatement to say that there's pressure on Lin to deliver, with the plans for the franchise ending in space already happening. He'll have to do some really crazy things in the future. Mind-blowing action sequences and over-the-top set pieces, a lot of ground to cover, so there might be a problem or two regarding the story. But if anyone is up to the challenge, it's these guys. With the principal photography set to begin pretty soon, Vin Diesel shared that most of the casting news will arrive soon. And as exciting as the idea of seeing more stars joining the franchise for the culminating flick, this also hints towards a potential story problem. Assuming that the core cast of the latest movie will return, as all the news are suggesting, the movie will already be packed as it is, so any new additions to the cast will probably take away precious time from the existing members, with the new kids on the block spending a considerable amount of time because of it. The addition of new cast members will likely complicate things, which we think is somewhat a bad idea because what the two-part finale had to do was to wrap up the collective and finish all the individual arcs of the original cast, with no debuts from new characters. While new additions to a franchise, especially big names, are always a good idea, this one probably was not. On the other hand, Vin Diesel might have been referring to old cast members from previous installments re-emerging. That could be a thing, a far better option for the franchise as a whole. Whatever the case may be, we'll have to wait and see. Throughout the installments, Dom had to face all kinds of bad guys, with his brother Jacob coming after him in the latest sequel after falling out decades ago with revenge on the table. Their issues by the end were resolved, with the family set to encounter another adversary with Jason Momoa filling in the role, the next big bad. Not much is known about the character outside of the fact that he'll be one of the key characters in the finale, with him having some ties with the likes of Cypher, still here to lay waste to our beloved characters. Amidst the ridiculous plot lines, and over-the-top action sequences, one thing the franchise stood high for were the serious bad guys, which will not be the case with Momoa's character, according to the actor, who said that his type of the villain will be a very flamboyant bad boy with a little panache, whatever that means. And although this is a huge change for the franchise trend, we think it'll be an interesting thing to see a villain moving away from the straight and brooding style to a more eccentric and funnier bad guy in the Fast X, the official title of the movie, standing right now, especially across the room to the always stoic Dom. This can be seen as an attempt for the franchise to differentiate the finale and make it look different from anything we've seen so far, with the 10th movie being the one to go in a different direction from its predecessors.
No matter how fast you are,
I am not to be compared to you.
no one outruns their past.
Dwayne Johnson made it clear that he'll not be returning to the franchise after his falling out with Vin Diesel. The details about it are still unknown, but it seems like it was enough for Dwayne to say no to his return as one of the core members of the franchise, with his character's growth notable from the first time he made his debut in 2011's Fast 5 all the way to his own spin-off movie with Jason Statham. Hobbs' absence from the franchise can ultimately be seen as a good thing and not a true loss, as there's possibly another take on how the saga might conclude itself, even more plot threads to be looked over. Firstly, it's not a secret that Vin and Dwayne did not exactly get along. A lot of on-set drama that was never addressed is a clear indication of that. Secondly, Johnson not being part of the franchise would mean that there's room for another big game actor to join in. That's probably where Jason Momoa came in, with a considerable amount of screen time being available to a new said character. And considering the way Hobbs' last appearance in The Fate of the Furious, there's simply no need to bring back the character, as he'll be there for more appearances than the actual narrative, so all in all, we can safely say that his absence could prove a better way to end things on a high note. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below what are your thoughts on the franchise as a whole. Which installment would you say was your favorite and why? What are your expectations for the two movies ahead of us? Can you pinpoint some crucial details that you'd like to see? And also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.